Hello everyone and welcome, it's Shanna. Now in one of my other videos I mentioned seeing some new product that reminded me of some old product that I had, and so I'm going to case a card. Gina K made a card the other day. It was a split card and she used her new stencil set, and it reminded me a lot of this Breath of Sunshine kit stamp set that was included in the Breath of Sunshine kit that I'd gotten, I don't know, last year or so. And so I thought what I would do is just go ahead and mimic the card, case the card that she had made, and use the materials that I have in this kit. Now, obviously, she used a stencil. And I'm going to use the stamps, but these are very similar to the stencil design that she just released. Now, I don't have a lot of her inks, so I'm going to bring in some Craft and Kimmy inks here, and this is yellow. And I honestly wish I would have used more of a mustardy. This is called lemon. And if I'd have used more of a mustardy color, it would have matched Gina's card even more than what it does. But I'll go with this and just keep going. I could have actually used my Distress Oxides. I have a lot of them, and I could have easily used those and probably come closer to the color scheme. I wanted to use Gina's Sea Glass and Tranquil Till because I thought they were, I think she used Tranquil Till on the card. I don't know that she used Sea Glass, but I had to use what I have. So right now I'm just taking and stamping this bigger flower down all over the card, just in kind of following the same pattern in which she stenciled hers on her card. I've got my iPad open, and I've actually got a picture of the card on my iPad, and so I'm just kind of visually, looking at it as I'm moving along through the stamping so that I can make it look fairly similar. And I'm just taking some water and cleaning off that stamp set, and I'm going to bring in the inside stamp set to add that darker orange color that is on her card as well. And for that, I'm just going to take Gina's orange hair. I can't remember what color it is, but I don't think it's, what she used. But I'm just going to line this up and stamp it in the, inside of the flower that I've already stamped up. And I've chosen to just use a acrylic block instead of my Misty, and I think you can line them up just fine with an acrylic block, and kind of make quicker stamping than having to move that stamp every time you want to position it differently on your card base. Now this is a full A2 size card base that I've got here, 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, and I will cut it down. Now Gina actually masked hers off with some masking magic and put, I think, 1/4 inch all the way around it. But I'm going to just cut mine down and let my card base put the 1/4 inch around it. And I think I come up with a card that looks very similar to what she had made. So I've got all of my bigger yellow, orange floral images down there. And I'm looking at this one. This is basically half of that one. And I've decided I'm just going to use the same stamp for the teal colored florals. Hers was slightly smaller, but I thought I'll just go ahead and use it, and I won't use the layered on it, and we'll just use some centers on it. And it will have a very similar look because this one that she stamped in the teal kind of looked like this. So we'll just stamp several of these down. I also mentioned on that other video that I also saw Simon Says Stamp released a card kit, and it actually had a die in it that I've had for quite a while as well that was in that card kit. And I think I'm going to make a video with it as well and kind of show it. But for today, we're just going to focus on this stamp set, Breath of Sunshine, that I have from Gina K. And I feel like it's really close. Now, the center flower for the orange, I didn't have the right stamp for that. For the teal one, I'm just going to take a circle one and do the darker Tranquil Till in the center of that. sea glass, and it will be pretty reflective. I'll have to go in a different direction on the inside of the yellow-orange flowers there. And this is actually, it took me about 30 minutes to make this card. I actually sped up the video ×2. It doesn't look really fast, but it has been sped up. So it really didn't take very long to stamp all this stuff down on here and actually create my card. Now this is where I just brought in a different type of a center for the orange yellow flower, and it's just like a little polka dot. They're on this Breath of Sunshine stamp set. You've got lots of different options for the centers. You've got like a crisscross pattern, like a cross hatch or whatever, and then you've got the solid, and then you have this polka dot circle, and then I think you have a polka dot or a solid oval. I'll bring that solid oval in to kind of create some of the extra elements on the card. Now I'm going to grab this leaf, and it looks real similar to the wreath and the stencil. And I don't know, she may have said that, you know, they designed that stencil after this set. I'm not sure if she did or not, but she might have. And so I'm going to take this leaf and kind of position it. I put a couple colors on there, and these are both Gina K colors that I had. And I'm just going to put my lightest color down and then kind of touch the darker color to the tip of the leaf and just add a little variation of color there. And I'm just going to kind of stamp this leaf down in different spots. And what I'm trying to do is just fill up some of that white area that I've got there in the center, and also kind of replicate what she did. So next I'm going to bring in that kind of oval circle. I don't know, it's more of an oval solid stamp there. And I'm just going to use it instead of the circle. I think hers were circle on her card, but I thought since I did the circle in the middle of my flowers, I would just use this oval and just kind of stamp it periodically around to kind of help fill in the white. And I think she even stamped some green in a circle or as well on hers. And my iPad just went to sleep, and so I had to wake it back up and get my picture back in front of me. So that's what I'm doing at this moment. And I'm going to go ahead and do a green and lay a green oval down as well, just to kind of add that green element like she did. And there I grabbed the wrong color, so I cleaned it off and then grabbed the green again. And I think I've pretty much finished this. I was thinking about stamping again, and I thought, no, quit while you're ahead. It looks decent. Now, if you remember, I put some double-sided tape to hold that down on this stencil mat, and I was just lifting it up because I thought I was going to ink blend on it, and so I cleaned it off. But now I've decided I'm just going to do it on my glass mat. Now, she did ink blend around hers as well, and so I'm just going to bring in one of my little foam daubers here and ink blend around. And I'm trying to ink blend a little deeper on there because I know I'm going to cut 1/4 of an inch off of it. And so I'm trying to go in a little bit deeper than just the edge so that when I cut my, when I trim it down, I'll have some blue. But I think I actually have to add a little bit more ink to it after I get it trimmed down. So I'm just adding it all the way around, and I think it looks really pretty. It really just softens the edges. And now it's sticking to my glass mat because I've got that double-sided tape on the back of it. So I'm just going to clean up my work surface and get ready to trim it. I've got a top folding card base. That's what she used, and that's what we need for this because it is a split card, and we're going to need the top fold for that. Now I'm going to grab this and kind of lift it up off of there, and then I'm going to flip it over, and I'm just going to take my finger and rub that because I don't want that on my guillotine trimmer, so I just rubbed it right off of there, and I'm going to bring in my guillotine, and we're going to take 1/4 of an inch off all 4 sides. And you can see, a lot of my blending is come off there, but there is still some blending there. And so I'm going to grab the dauber and just kind of go around it again and just add a little bit more to it. And now this is where you're creating that split edge. And you can really just do, I didn't measure at all. I just kind of eyeballed it. I kind of looked at hers, and she didn't go to the corner. She kind of had like a little edge there. And so I basically did the same thing. And so now I just need to get it laid down on my panel nice and neat. And I get it laid down, and I don't like my margins on there, but I'll fix that in a minute. So I'll just line this up. And then I'm going to use my trimmer, and I was kind of brave here, and I'm just going to trim it with that and just trim it straight off. And I did a really good job of getting right up to the edge of that paper. And so now I just need to lay this piece down on there. And so I'll just glue it down and line it up with a top piece so that we're lined up nice and straight, and we'll have a little edge on the bottom. And then this is where I noticed that the one side is just, it's too wide. So I'm just going to take my trimmer, lay it down in there, and cut it down, and it looks better. It's closer that way. So I think it looks really good. I've got a really good match. And I'm going to use this sentiment in here that, I think hers said, thinking of you, and I think this one says, so very thankful, or something like that. And for this, I am going to bring in the Misty because I want to make sure I get a good black covering on this sentiment. And I'll just bring in my Memento black ink, and I'll get it inked up. I think I do a couple stampings on there just to get it good and crisp. Now this stamp set has the dies that go with the floral elements and the sentiments. So I'm just going to clean off my stamp and put it away, and I'll get the die out, and we'll die cut this out. And there we go. So there's the little die. Just going to bring in my Scout and get this laid down on here. Now I want to get it lined up nice, and I'm going to tape it down. I had a little scrap piece of tape laying there, and I just grabbed it, and I'm going to get it taped up, and then we'll get this die cut out. Now once I die cut it out, I thought I need a good thick die cut because this is going to hang over the edge of this card. And so I want it to be good and solid. So I'm just grabbing, and I had just, this is just a little strip of some heavy duty watercolor paper that I have, and I'm going to die cut it out of this twice, and I'm going to have a good strong die cut sentiment when I get it layered up, and it will hopefully survive being kind of hanging off the edge of that. There's a little piece in there that you just pop out. I was just popping it out with my 2-in-1 tool, and I'm just going to glue these up and get my sentiment on there. Just lining it up real nicely, and then we'll layer it up. Now I've changed my thumbnail for this video. I keep getting these, I don't know what they are, people that are trying to tell you how to run your YouTube channel. And they have analyzed me, and they think I could do better with better thumbnails. So I'm going to try something different. So let me know what you think about the thumbnail. So I'm just going to glue this up and get it laid down on this flap, making sure that I don't have any of the glue on the underneath of it. I'm just checking it so that I don't glue my panels together. And I think it looks super pretty and very much like the inspiration card that Gina made. Now Gina did put a sentiment on the inside, so I am going to go ahead and do that. I probably should have done that before I added my sentiment or whatever, but I'm just going to go ahead and use my Misty. I'll get it laid down on here, and I'll just bring in my Memento black ink. We'll get it inked up, and then we'll have the sentiment. We'll actually have the inside of this card finished as well as the outside. So I think it looks really pretty. Let me know what you think. And I encourage you to shop your stash and see what you've got. And I bet you could probably do something very similar with something that you have in your stash already. So I like how it turned out. It was a fun project, and I'm thankful for the inspiration from Gina and the product. So thanks for watching, and have a great day. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.